Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 15 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, we will be discussing our new podcast.
Yes, the Marriage Coach Podcast.
The Marriage Coach Podcast. So we're going to be discussing that on today. This is Cedric Francis, and you're listening to Lead to Greatness. If this is your first time joining the Lead to Greatness community, I want you to subscribe. I want you to like. I want you to comment. I want you to rate the podcast wherever you're listening and watching. Man, that means a lot to us. Also, I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing all across your social media platforms. So we want to thank you all for joining us and going on this journey with us as we get into the Marriage Coaching Podcast.
Yes, we want to thank you. We are excited that you are here, and we hope that something we say will encourage you and help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
August 31st.
August 31st.
August 31st, 1998. We got married young, and we got married. And one of the things I have to say, when we first got married, we really didn't have all the answers and all the tools we needed. One thing we knew that we loved each other. We got married, and one thing I realized about marriages now is most people, they're in the same boat.
Oh yeah.
People we fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
We get married, but oftentimes in marriages, we love each other, but we really don't like each other. And just really taking that, that's why we say from surviving to thriving, because we really want to, just really help marriages. As our 20-year journey, we've been through so much. We've been through our first 2 years of being married. First 2 years, 2 to 5 years is some of the most challenging times because you have two people coming together to become one, and that can be very difficult.
Absolutely.
You have two people, two different backgrounds, two
different
upbringings,
yeah,
coming
two
together.
Different point of views.
Right, absolutely, two different. And then not to add the part of parenting. Now we were both reared up different. So the way we were reared up, that's the way, or that's the right way. So just really coming together. And that experience was really, it's definitely, a challenging thing. So I say, what do you say? First 5 years?
Absolutely, I agree. The first 2 to 5 years can be very challenging in a relationship, in a marriage, because when you first meet each other, when you first start dating, or when you first get married, you're caught up in the hoo-ha of the love and how you feel and how, oh my God, I can't wait to see him and all of that. But once you really start, when you're married and you begin to live with each other, or in a relationship, you begin to see each other on a regular basis, and it's you begin to see things within that person. You start to see their flaws after time, because we're all human beings and we all have flaws. So their flaws begin to rise to the surface. Your flaws begin to rise to the surface, and you begin to see how you are different and what is different about you. And as you maneuver through that, you love that person and you want to be with them. But like you said, there are some times when you like, I can't stand you, or
whoa, let's stop right there. So we got married back in 1998. So what was one of the things you didn't like but you tolerated?
You're the baby of you're the baby. And when we got married, you acted like a baby sometimes. And when I say act like a baby sometimes, I think that how we I think that our birth order, or how we perceive ourselves in our previous relationship with our siblings and all of that, determines. Like for me, I'm the oldest. So I'm the oldest of all my siblings.
So that makes you bossy.
I could be bossy. Yeah, I could be bossy. So we have the baby and the bossy. And that created some challenges, the baby and the bossy. Right. So the first 99 and 2000, we were working through that.
I remember when we first got married, because we got married about a week later. I went to the military, left the military.
8 days later, sir.
September. Yep,
Yes.
September 8th. I was on the plane on my way to Fort Jackson,
South
South Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
was on my way there, and I remember I was 20 years old.
Yes. You were 20 and I was 19.
Okay, I was 20 years old. So
Mhm.
I'm 20 years old, and I have to say, it was a little. I wasn't mature at all. You know, and I can admit that now. I remember back then when I was 20 years old. I mean, I thought I was the best dude in the world. But as times go by and looking at the hindsight, I mean, it was a lot of things. I was. She said, speaking of from me from a baby, I was spoiled. And I remember my mom. I was a mama's boy. I was a spoiled brat, So just imagine her falling in love and marrying a spoiled brat that's call herself a man but still act like a boy. So it was definitely some challenges. And I know. So what's one of the things, just kind of, how did you walk through that?
Well, actually, for if from what I remember and recall in those beginning years, a lot of things I did, and it was like reading books. I read a book that shifted my mindset in our marriage early on. That was
By
called
TD Jakes, right?
no, it's I
Uh,
think her name is Stormy. I did the book from TD Jakes also, but that's the lady, her lover and her Lord. And
okay.
but the book was called The Power of a Praying Wife, and I think her name is Stormy something. But that book really made me take a look at myself, because just like you just said, what was challenging, it's easy for me to say you were the baby, you acted like a baby, but I was bossy and not active bossy. And so what it is that it's those two different personalities colliding, because the baby, wants what they want, and they're crying about it, or not even necessarily crying about it when you're an adult, but you may be pouting about it or whatever. And then the bossy, they want what they want, and you should do what I want because I'm, the boss, or because I want you to. So that's what it is. It was two personalities colliding. But for me, The Power of a Praying Wife was a book that shifted my thoughts as far as taking it off of what you are and what you are not, and making me look at myself as what I am and what I am not. And so then the idea came that I want my marriage to work. I want us to thrive. I want us to really be happy, not just say we're happy. I want us to be able to discuss and make decisions. I want us to get along. I want us to this, and that, whatever it is. All the ideas, because I was younger. So, everything is, you know, even bigger when you're younger. But yeah, that was two books. The Lady, Her Lover, and the Lord was good as well. And then The Power of a Praying Wife really, really shifted my perspective as far as what a wife's role is in a marriage. And I think that's something that that a lot of that people have access to now, or that's more prevalent now than it was when we got
Yeah,
married.
absolutely. I mean, because when we first got married, there was no
Yeah,
YouTube.
we never
There
heard
was
about,
no
yeah,
the information. Because we living in the information
society.
society. I mean,
Yes.
information is everywhere. I definitely. It's a lot of different things. So we're gonna be dealing with, a lot of things. My wife and I, we've done a lot. I can't even put a number on it anymore. Marriage coaching that we have done. Coaching
Mhm.
couples back to from surviving to thriving. And with that, so it was so much, just so much we've actually learned, different things, different marriages, different age brackets
Yes,
of marriages.
different age groups. Yeah.
You have people that's been married 15, 20 years,
Yep.
and they're just married for the kids.
And the thing about this is, um, the idea of what we want to do with the marriage coach is something that's just like, we realize that marriage is a team sport.
Yeah.
So what we want to do here is
It,
our idea, and we talked about this. We talked about it time and time again,
Mhm.
and our idea was a coach is the one that's in the corner pumping you up to take the shot. A
Right.
coach is the one that's in the corner, and they know who to give the ball to when it's necessary.
Right.
A coach is the one that's saying, keep pushing, keep pushing. You can do one more push
Right.
up. You can do one more layup.
In other words, a coach is the one on the sidelines
Cheering you on.
able to see a
Uh
full angle. You're
yes.
able to see the mistakes that's being made. I mean, you think about it. Michael Jordan have a coach.
Mhm,
Tiger Woods had a coach.
mhm.
Some of the greatest basketball players ever,
They all
LeBron
have a
James,
coach.
they all have coaches. Some of the
Absolutely.
great football players, they all have. Tom Brady has a coach.
Mhm.
Everyone, we all need a coach. We all need a coach in our life because the coach is able to see things from an outside perspective. Because
Exactly.
there's been
From the
times in our life,
sidelines.
in our marriage where we may have a disagreement, and within the disagreement, I'm looking like it's your fault,
Mhm,
and you're looking at me like it's my fault.
mhm.
But having a coach on the
Yes,
outside to
somebody from the
look
outside.
in
Mhm.
and just to say, you know what, hey, just to see things from that different perspective, can really, definitely help marriages. So
Absolutely. And that's our
that's
goal
the
to
goal.
be. It's not about to be a unbiased voice, a voice that be the person that's sharing our story, our triumphs, our failures. To that's what the marriage coach is all about. It's about us taking that sideline view to be an unbiased
Mm,
voice to say, have you seen it from his point of view?
yeah,
How about looking at this from her point of view? Helping you to have an idea of what your spouse may be thinking or going through, and also interjecting what is important here. Because at the end of the day, with anything in your marriage, the important thing is that you two are together. The important thing is that you two are willing to stay together, to fight for what both parties are willing to fight for, not fight each other,
right.
but
Fight together,
yeah,
not fighting against
yeah,
each other.
fight
Right.
for, not fight
Yeah.
each other for what is important to you.
Yeah.
And that is your relationship. That's your marriage, your friendship, your relationship, everything together, that you are willing to go the extra mile, to go beyond. And you ultimately want to serve your spouse. You want to um honor your spouse. You want to
Mm,
love your spouse.
yeah.
You want to be their biggest cheerleader. You want to be the person that they can bring all of their that they can bring their nakedness to. That's what you want to be. And we are here to just share. Not We're not here to judge or tell people what to do, but to share.
At the chef for real.
To share for
I
real.
mean, that's not going to be. We're going to be transparent.
Exactly.
We're gonna deal with the real. It's
Absolutely.
no. We're not trying to be the Pleasantville marriage here. We want to deal with every aspect. We want to deal with financial aspect. We want to deal
Everything
with
from
one of the
friendship to
biggest things.
finance.
One of the biggest things with marriages now, from the previous coaching we've done, is communication.
Hmm.
So dealing with the communication, how to communicate,
Hmm.
how to speak your lover's language.
Hmm.
Making sure you and your spouse is on the same page.
Hmm.
You're speaking the same language, or
And that you're giving them what they need and they're
right,
giving you what you need.
right, right,
Yeah,
right. Absolutely, absolutely, and you can only do that through communication.
that's right.
Oftentimes, even in marriages, a lot of times people step outside of marriage because they're trying to get something
That they're not getting.
that they're not getting, but with the right conversation,
Absolutely. Because sometimes the thing that you're not getting, you never even
they
expressed
never
that you need
attempt.
it.
Right,
You never expressed that you wanted it. You
right,
never told me that you like it
right.
this way. You
And
never told me you don't like it that way.
right, and you expect your spouse to be a mind reader,
Hmm.
but that's unfair.
Right.
Another thing too is relationships.
Hmm.
Especially you have couples that's been in a lot of
Oh,
relationships. You begin to compare each relationship, and you try to make this one person all these different people, and that's definitely
yeah, that's
it's
unfair
unfair
to
for the
eat
person.
to either party.
Right,
It's that's gonna leave you with a whole lot of unmet expectations,
right,
and it's going to cause a whole lot of confusion, because whether it's the wife or the woman or the man, that is going to lead to a lot of disappointment, a lot
Yeah,
of confusion, a lot of misunderstanding, because you're going to expect something from someone that they may not be able to give to you, because
absolutely.
that's not who they are. So the thing, and the reason, another reason I think is important, and we talked about this when we were thinking about ourselves as coaches, because we have almost 22 years of experience in marriage,
Yeah,
because this August will be 22 years for us.
22.
22 years for
Deuce,
us.
deuce.
Yeah. And so in the 22 years, and this is the thing, and I tell people this all the time, we literally grew up together.
Yeah.
Like I was 19, you were 20. Our first time leaving home
Yeah.
was with each other.
I mean, you think about it, we've been married most of our lives.
Yes.
I'm
Almost half our lives
well
now.
over half our
Yeah,
lives.
22 years. You're 42 and
Yeah,
I'm 41.
22 and 22
Wow.
is 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So yeah. We've been married for a long time. And so that was one of the things that was a driving force to make us to not make us that pushes us to do this, because it's something that we want to do. So we didn't have to be made to do it. We want to be a help to people. And I really, really believe, and I know you do because we talked about it. We really believe
yeah,
that with someone in your corner, with someone giving you a different, honest, unbiased, different perspective, with someone sharing. Sometimes you may hear something from us and you are experiencing that exact thing right now. Or sometimes you could have gone through something and you are now in a situation, and something we say makes this stand out to you and say, oh, okay, that's a different point of view. I
right.
see that differently now versus what I thought. And so that's the goal of the Marriage Coach. The goal of the Marriage Coach podcast is to really, really help people in their relationship, to help their relationship, to help you build a friendship. And then you take that relationship from a friendship to now you are compatible lovers who understand what each other's needs are.
Mm,
And then as you move forward, now you're dreamers together.
mm,
And now you're looking forward to what you're going to do in the future together. And you're so intertwined into each other that although you may have been brought up differently, you were raised different, you have different backgrounds, you came up under a different household. I came from a single parent household. You came from a dual parent household with both your parents. They were married
right.
until your mom passed away. All of the so you all of these things, we were reared different. But now, 22 years later, although we are still different people, although we still have some different points of view, we're more alike now than we are different.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it, even in 22 years of marriage, I mean, we're still learning each other.
Yes, still
We're
learn,
still 22.
because each one of us are growing and changing.
Yeah,
So as you
yeah.
grow and change, I'm not married to the same Cedric I was married to when I first got married, and that
Yeah,
means
because I was spoiled then, but I'm mature now, right?
yeah. So you see, so you're not the
At least
same.
for the most part.
You're not the same Cedric you were in 1998.
Right.
I'm not the same Shante I was in 1998. You're not the same Cedric you were in 2005, 2010, because you're working.
2018.
Exactly. You're working on yourself. You're
Yeah,
growing each and every day to be better. And I'm doing the same. I'm working on myself.
yeah.
We have open dialogue. We have real honest conversation, to talk about what our likes are, our dislikes, our hopes, our dreams, our failures, our accomplishments, what we desire, what we like, what we love, what we don't like, what we don't love, what we want to do, what we hope, where do we see ourselves. We have this conversation all the time. And because we talk a lot, and I love that. Because we talk a lot, we know each other. I know him, he knows me. And that is how we are working through this thing together. And even in those things, because you're still a human being, you have your own mind, your own thoughts. Even in those things where we're different and we may not, I don't see it your way, you don't see it my way, we're able to talk through these things and make a common choice to come together when there's compromise that needs to be had, when there's a decision that needs to be made. It's not about what I want or what I like. It's about what's best for our team. And that's Team Francis.
So let's say this. So who is this? Who is this podcast for?
This podcast is for anyone who is in a dating relationship. Anyone who desires to be married, anyone who is married, anyone who's married and barely holding on, anyone who's married and happy and just keep believing that we're great, but we could still be better.
Yeah.
We believe that there's always room for improvement,
Yeah.
which is why we continue to work on our marriage, why we continue to read books about marriage and love, and why we continue to study together, talk together, communicate, where we grow together. We continue to do that because we know that in 2000 our marriage was good. In 2010 it was great. In 2020 it's even better than it was any of those times. So therefore we're now led to believe and understand and know that in 2021 it could be better. In 2022 it could be better than it was in 2021. So it's just the best version of you continuing to present itself for that time and that season in your life and in your relationship. So yes, this podcast would be for anyone in a relationship, anyone desiring to be in a relationship, anyone that is desiring to be married,
Yeah.
anybody that's married, anybody that's married and happy, anybody that's married and unhappy. It's for everybody.
Yeah, we also have something. So this is what we want to do. So basically, if you have any comments, if it's a topic you want us to discuss, I mean, you can
Right.
go right now. It's right here. No, it's gonna be up here. So right here, up here, go to Marriage Coach Podcast at gmail.com. See, it's right here, right there. Yeah. So Marriage Coach Podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, and just go ahead and just and get the information to us. And I promise you, we will address it. If you want to remain anonymous, you don't want anyone to know who you are. We won't even we won't bring your name up. We'll just deal with
The subject.
talk about the subjects.
We can answer
Even
questions. We can
we can
talk
have an
about
answer question
topics. We can.
segment. We can have asking question segment, or anyone. If you have any ideas or whatever, something that help us out. This is all for we're doing this. We're doing this for
To help
to
others.
help others. For thriving marriages. To take us to that next level. So I mean, if there's anything you have any ideas, even the format of us going forward with this,
Mhm.
just hey, we're free for anything, because at the end of the day, it's about helping others.
That's right.
And that's what we want to do, help
Um,
marriages. And here it is. You know what? I think that's the best relationship. We help you, you help us, and
it's a win-win.
we can win, and we can do this thing together.
That's right.
That's just what this is all about. It's all about us sharing our life, sharing our experience, our marriage, our ups, our downs, marriage through business, marriage through finance, marriage
Yes.
in debt, marriage out of debt,
Everything.
marriage being broke, marriage having money,
Absolutely.
marriage through ministry.
Yes.
I mean, that's a whole nother
That's a
topic
whole
by
nother.
itself. But we're
Yeah.
gonna be dealing with it. I mean,
There's a lot of. We have a
so
between the.
pastors, first ladies, come on. I mean,
Right.
y'all
Right. Right.
join. And I mean, occasionally I want to do this too. I want us to occasionally have
Bring
other
some
couples
couples
on.
on. Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
some other pastors on. We
Absolutely.
have,
Absolutely.
we'll talk about pastoral issues. That
Right. Right. Right.
and we can deal with that, and even answering questions. Maybe doing some type of live in the future where we're dealing with other couples, and you're not
Absolutely.
just hearing from us, but you're hearing from other power couples. Just really, really just supporting to you guys. Go ahead.
Absolutely, because we have who we are. We have so much to offer to
Yeah.
other couples.
Man, we got some.
We
Hey,
have been young
yeah.
and married, like 19 and 20. We have
So you
been,
saying you're old now, right?
I mean, younger.
All right, go ahead.
We have been financially challenged and married. We have
That mean broke. Go ahead.
we have changed careers and still been married. You were in the army,
Yeah.
so I know about
Travel.
we
I was
know
in the field all the time by myself.
exactly.
You had to.
So there's a lot of experience here. We are now married in ministry.
Do you remember
We
that? You
both
remember? You remember we were when I was in the military. So I was in the military. Just so I was in the military. So here I am in the military. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We did the
did
PT. Then
PT.
after that, we come back home. Get ready. I eat breakfast. Then I go to work. And sometimes, I mean, I'm working
Wow.
5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking getting paid for overtime. I mean, that was.
That was
I remember
not happening.
I remember when I went to when I got out the military and we got overtime. I was excited. I was excited because I mean I never experienced overtime before
Exactly.
because I got paid the exact same thing
And
working 15, 16 hours.
do you remember when I arrived at Fort Knox? When I arrived at Fort
Hmm.
Knox, you came, they allowed you to come home
I was in the field.
one
I
day.
was in the
You
field.
picked me up from the airport. We ordered pizza,
Uh-huh.
and
I didn't remember all that
the
moment.
next morning I was in a empty
Strange place
house,
by herself.
strange
By
place
herself.
by myself.
Right.
Like
But where I was going with this is so I'm I'm tired. I get off work and I'm tired.
oh,
Yeah, that's where I'm going. So I get off work and I'm tired. She called me the spoiled one, right? She said I was spoiled, but I was tired. I mean, tired, exhausted, getting up early in the morning, getting home late. And guess what? She want to go
I'm
to
ready to
Walmart.
go. Let's
She
go
ready to
shopping.
go
Let's go to the
shopping. She was
mall.
like, I
Let's go
want to
out
go
to
to
eat.
sleep.
Let's go to
I want to go to
yeah.
sleep and she want to go shopping. You know, so
So we have a lot to share and offer. We've been through
absolutely.
many of stages and phases
Yes, we
together,
have.
and we're still going strong through more stages and phases of life. We've been through many of seasons of lives together. We've grown up. We literally grew up together,
Yeah.
as well as got married and continue to grow up together. We've been through we've had a lot of seasons in our lives where we've experienced a lot of different things. And I believe that on this podcast, the Marriage Coach podcast, we will, not I believe, we will share all of those things so that it could touch each and every person and in their situation and give you some insight,
Yeah.
give you hope, give you determination, help you to see the other perspective, because that's what we have to do in relationship with others, in marriage, in a dating relationship, whatever the relationship is. You have to be willing to see the other person's point of view, and that's what the Marriage Coach podcast is going to be about. It's going to be that help from the sideline to help you see the other person's point of view.
Dealing with family. So yeah, we
Yes.
definitely excited about it. We want to just be a part, and thank you in advance for allowing us to be a part of your lives. But definitely, again, it's right here. Go to Marriage Coach Podcast at gmail.com,
Gmail.com.
and just send your comments, your questions, any suggestions, anything to help us be better service to the world. And so we're
Amen.
definitely excited about that. And man,
And to
just
better serve you, to help, to really, really help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving, to
mm,
help you to be happy in your relationship. I always look at it like this: we want to be the people that help you live the relationship that most people present in social media and before the world. That you don't just have to look like you have a good marriage, you don't have to look like you have a good relationship. You're actually living a good relationship, actually living a
yeah,
good
yeah, because
marriage.
definitely trying to look like it. I mean, that's hard work.
Yeah,
That's hard work.
but
I
I'd
mean,
rather live in it than look like it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that. So wherever you are right now, I mean, so you can go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. To go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, and also hit the button for notifications so you can, every time we upload podcast or you on the
Our
YouTube
YouTube
channel,
video.
you'll know it's there, and you can actually, so you won't miss an episode.
Exactly. So you won't miss one episode if
Mm.
you want to subscribe.
Yeah, and we're gonna actually even be dealing with day to day things. I mean, the challenges with even what we're doing right now.
Thank you for joining in with us today and watching. And we ask that you would comment.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Exactly.
Yep.
Comment, rate, subscribe, like, and
Email.
turn on that notification.
Email.
Yes, email us. Email us any questions, any comments, any topics, anything you would like to discuss, anything you'd like to hear us talk about, anything you would like to see us focus on, anything. Just send it to
and you can, and there's several ways you can do it. I mean, you can watch it through YouTube. or you can also go to iTunes.
Uh-huh.
You can go to Spotify.
Uh-huh.
You can go to Pandora.
Yes.
You can go to iHeartRadio. We all on all those different platforms. Google Play. We're on Google Play. We're on Stitcher Radio. What else are we on? We almost on everything. The marriage coach. We almost on all everything. And if it's something that we're not on, go
Let
ahead.
us know.
Let us know. Put that in the email too, and I promise we'll try to do our best to get on it. The divorce rate has increased. Second time marriage divorce rate is about 60%. So the goal and the purpose is to decrease our divorce rates and for thriving marriages here across the world. So we're definitely excited. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys week after week. You have a blessed evening.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Once again, I'd like to thank the Lead to Greatness community for joining us on this week. Looking forward to seeing you again on next week. Till then, remember, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. Peace.